Hello and welcome to Just Do It, a Dewey Brothers podcast. Today with you, we got the Frost Brothers. I'm Nip.
That's right. Oh, and I'm. Wait, I thought I was
No, I'm Frost.
Frost.
I'm Nip, and you're Bite.
Oh, that's right. I am
Yeah, we
Bite.
got the Frosty Boys today. Eric, a couple weeks ago, nearly lost his toes. It was rough. I got my toes really cold last weekend, so I'm gonna make a full recovery. No doctor's appointment necessary, but us
It's not
DeWitt,
worth it,
Eric,
man.
we
The
gotta.
doctors, dude, they look at you and they say, "Wow, now those are some toes," and then they're like a little sad that I can't just chop them off because
I know.
every doctor wants to chop off a toe.
Dude, all the toe doctors. That's like why they went into med school to lop
Well,
off toes.
I don't think even the foot doctors, like any
Mm,
doctor. I mean, okay, Alex, you almost got your doctorate.
yeah.
Like it had you become a
Mm-hmm.
PhD, a Dr. Dewey, if you will, you would
Mm.
have been chopping toes off, right?
Well, yeah, obviously. That just comes with the territory. You're 100% correct. You just have this lust for toes, you know?
I don't know what they
Sort of
teach
a
you in
Carl the Llama style.
mhm.
Yeah.
You have sort of this hunger inside of you that just can only be satiated by chopping toes.
Yeah, only toes can satisfy for sure. Anyway, Eric, yeah, so my feet are basically what we're trying to get across to you listeners out there is we are keeping the proud DeWitt tradition alive of not having feeling in all of your digits because that would be unacceptable.
You know it. Digits are for what we like to say. Who, Alex? Who are the digits for? Losers. That's it. A bunch of
That's right.
pansies and losers. You don't need digits. All you need is it.
All right, Eric, let's get on to this chilly jack-styled podcast. We jacked it up. We're nipping at the windowsill, if you will.
No Santa Claus. Jack Frost only.
We're not even a month late because a certain somebody today said there was going to be 6 more weeks of winter after I stole Dad's shop lights and put them over his house. So
That's smart. You
yep.
did make sure that old Philium saw a shadow, right?
Oh yeah, I did every time. I was like, I'm not with global warming, we need all the extra winter we can get.
That's fair, Alex. I actually heard crazy news.
No way. What
So
was it?
there's a secondary groundhog, which I know we got into this a long time ago about the groundhog elite cabal,
Right.
Francis, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But there is actually a New Jersey groundhog.
No way.
Yeah. So his name is Milltown Mel, and he popped up today. He looked at his shadow and he croaked.
Uh-oh. That was his last report, huh?
Milltown Mel died.
Hogging it to the end.
So he was hogging it, and I personally have never heard of this, but do you know what the condition is? Like, so do we have more winter, less winter? If he just goes kaput, like what happens?
So that actually means that you get to invoke the rare double winter.
Oh,
Yeah.
so summer's not coming. It's death and destruction all around.
No, that you would think double winter would mean that it's twice as much winter, but that's not true. Double winter means it happens all at once every other week.
So
Yeah, so each week we're going to trade off a week of summer, high of 60, 80 degrees, balmy, with a week of winter, high of 25, also balmy.
yeah, no, that adds up.
Both beach weather, honestly, if I'm, you know me.
Well, it's just a different apparel at the beach. Some days you're out there with your toque and your snowshoes, and the other days you're out with your I don't know, swim trunks and flippy floppies.
And your toque. Don't forget the toque. The toque
Also,
stays on.
the toque is for style.
It's for style. Plus,
it's
with the
true.
palm on there, I mean, come on, bro.
That's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's terrible, sad news. Do you know what is also terrible and sad?
What is also terrible and sad, Eric?
This week's main topic.
I've been
Alex, this week we are talking about none other than Mike Vaccaro, the lead sports columnist for the New York Post.
Ooh, okay. What are some of his notable sports comments?
Well, he likes saying "Go Sports" and "Wow, that's a good ball." So Mike Vaccaro, he knows everything there is to know about all the sports. And by all of the sports, I mean the mainstream ones, because I have never seen him cover bull riding
Yep.
or marbles, man.
Oh, dude, we were a big marble podcast. I mean, we were the authority on marble racing for a little while there, Eric. So
I know
it's a
we
shame
were.
that he didn't cover that. I mean, the money is bad. Let me tell you, the
It's
marbles
the
they don't pay well,
you don't make money, but you do get respect.
and pride,
A
which
little
really
bit of
makes it
pride.
disheartening that Mike Vaccaro over here wasn't into that sort of thing. Did he ever perhaps cover the uphill downhill, the greatest sporting event to ever sport?
No. Do you know
Oh,
why?
why not?
Because he is from the South.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, uphill downhill was in Japan this year, so that's kind of southy.
Yep. But no, he's it might say that he's a New York Post person, but he's actually from Kansas City, so.
Ooh, man, yeah, they got only lame sports down there, like baseball and football and other balls.
Basketball and
Yeah, maybe hockey,
sports
maybe, but
ball.
ball sports.
Ball sports, you're right. They got not cricket. They have cricket ball though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Jawlai or whatever that sport
Halai,
is.
highlight,
Highlight. Sounds
bocce
good.
ball,
Yeah.
big bocce presence down there.
Oh yeah. I mean, you should see some of the lawns they got down there.
I mean, the polo too, man.
Whew. And he never covers any of it for some reason after he moved out to New York City for the New York Post.
I know he hardly covers horse racing, and that's like a staple of New York
Yeah.
right there.
Tisk. Man, Eric, this is why we can't have nice things. The news media only covers the big sports and not the little sports. That's why you got to tune in to your independent news station, ESPN 8, The Ocho.
Or this podcast where we talk about the cool hip sports and the things that everybody wants to do.
Hey, Eric, what's the hippest happening, most hip sport of them all right now?
I believe it's freezing your toes off.
That's a pretty good one. Checking is another great hip sport.
Yep. I gotta say, a little controversial, but just hip dancing, just throwing it around. Get those Shakira dance moves out there.
Hula hooping.
Hula
Shakira song.
hooping is quite hip, almost
sure.
Zumba level.
It's not quite Zumba.
Not quite Zumba. Nothing. Although let's be real, nothing quite hits Zumba.
Nothing quite hits Zumba. All right, Eric, we gotta wrap up this hip discussion and move over, hop, if you will, on over to the rhyme zone. Don't you think?
I suppose we could do that.
I got a little ditty here, but I think it's your turn to go first. So.
All right. Well, this is all going to be off the top, for real this time. Not like I said last time where it was not off the top. So if my rhymes don't rhyme, don't be rhyming, boy. It's a rhyme time, and it's time to shine. And this is my poem. I don't know what the topic is. Alex, can you give me a quick little topic?
Frosty Boys, just like this podcast. Two
Us
frosty
Frosty
duets.
Boys. All right, fellas, this is the scene. Something that might come from a dream. Two little boys out playing in the snow. Who knows where they'll go? But I know one thing faux show. It's that they're not going to have any more toes. That's what happens when you're out in the cold. Your toes just they start to fester and grow some mold. That's why the stink is just so smelly, and their other parts of their bodies are cold, like their belly. As you can see, I'm a great artist, and artist is a hard word to rhyme, so I'm gonna fart this.
Ah.
My toes are nice and chilly, and
It won't
there's
stop.
even little Billy. His toes got so cold that they fell off, and now he's doomed to sloth. So remember, the moral of the story is there is no moral. Go and have some fun, or else it'll be immoral.
Beautiful, Eric. What a poem. I almost remember some of it.
Did you
I
like the fart noises? Did they come through?
They did not come through.
Alright.
So we'll have to edit those in. See how it goes. All right, Eric, you ready for this little ditty I got here?
Let's see it.
There's a name for this kind of poem, but I forgot what it's called. I used to be big into them. This one's called Frosty Boy.
Is it a limerick?
It is a limerick. Yeah, that's the
There
name.
we go.
I know it's a double limerick with a Scotch twist.
Oh gosh, I don't think that's legal here.
I'm showing off at this point. I'm showing off. All right, Frosty Boy. There once was a boy so frosty that he found his toes quite losty. He warmed them up with a chalky cup and explained, "Oi, those are nasty." Then he took a big deep whiff, nearly lost his nose to that sniff, and he recoiled in fear at what now lay near, his toenails but a myth. So all ye listening to these tales, keep 'em warm or you'll lose those nails. That's
It's
my
true.
little
That's
double
good.
twisty
I
limerick
like it.
right there.
I like
Yeah,
it because
thank you.
I know someone that lost their nails.
Oh,
It's definitely not me, but
okay, good.
on a different note, toes
Mhm.
without toenails look real weird, man.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. They really need toes deserve toenails. They're really a match made on feet.
Exactly. Like can you imagine also like if you just had a toenail with no toe? Like that'd be
Ooh,
kind of wild.
right? That'd be rough, dude.
I don't know if that would look a little scary. What
That's
else you
true.
got?
I mean, that's all we got right there. We can move on over to our next segment now that we've wrapped up our frosty poems with some questions from the internet. But we're gonna have to take a little break because I forgot to get them. So
I know that you forgot to get those questions from the internet. So Alex, that's why I came prepared.
do you got one right now?
I have a question. It's not from the internet, but
Okay.
it's a more introspective question. One that comes from the inner mind of myself. And that
Okay.
is, Alex,
Yeah.
if you are too hot to handle,
Mm-hmm.
what sort of cooking are you going to do? I mean, obviously it's too hot for the handle. What are you cooking?
Oh, if it's too hot for the handle, what am I cooking?
Yeah.
Well, obviously we're on a gas stove. The heat's escaping up around my pot, which is too small. Because I'm cooking up some hot, steamy ramen with I got all the fancy bits out there. We got the egg cracked in there. We got the broccolinis. We got the
Ooh.
ramen noodles. I'm bougie, so I went with the shrimp packet, baby. Not chicken. Shrimp. We got the expensive ramen from Maruchan, dude. A little bit of soy in there, and it's obviously way too hot to touch that handle. It's disaster. It's a disaster.
That sounds like something's going to go up in flames, smoke, maybe even burn the house down. And talking about burning the house down, this comes into my next question, Alex.
Alrighty.
So, Steve is out here and he's wondering what to do because Seth just walked up and for some reason he was happy about the present or something. What happened
Yeah.
to Seth?
I don't remember. Something about counseling.
Counseling, something. So the Club Penguin counselor, therapist,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
obviously, I think their account got hacked. Okay, because they
Well,
told
Club
Seth
Penguin's over, but they moved on to now
Webkins. All
on
right.
Webkins. Yeah.
So the Webkins site, the Webkins
Yeah.
therapist must have
Uh-huh.
gotten their account hacked or something because they told Seth that he should start lighting fires and candles to cleanse the air around him, and it was working well. He enjoyed it. And so he figured,
Listening to some AJR.
yeah, sounds
Yeah.
about right. Or burning down the house. I think the Talking Heads, yeah, sounds about right. Um,
That's not
and
the only
then
thing the Talking Heads are burning, if you know what I mean.
ooh, but so he was, burning his incense and his candles and
Mm-hmm.
just creating the feng shui he wanted, and he was thinking, man, Steve could use this too. So Seth, snuck into Steve's house while he was sleeping
Yeah.
and lit up all of his
Oh
candles.
no. Oh
The
no.
the candles were
Even
the
the
only
poop
ones
candle?
the only ones he could find were citronella,
Uh-huh.
and the wicks were much too large and accidentally burned down Steve's house.
Oh no.
So the question is, what
Seth,
should
dude,
Seth?
now that the
Well, yeah,
fire department is there?
yeah. What should Seth do after involuntarily burning down Steve's house?
All right, well, Seth, this is really easy. First and foremost, he is a literal black mark on your neighborhood now. And it's all your fault for ruining his beautiful house. Fortunately, it doesn't appear as if the fire has spread to the picket fence. So the white picket fence is still there, but you're going to have to go in and rebuild. Just thank God that his dog and 2.5 beautiful kids were able to get out of there with the wife after the fire alarms went off, because that's right, everyone knows this. Steve is an obsessive fire alarm checker. Dude has fire alarms in every single house in his building, and he got battery backups on top of his battery backups.
Ooh, that's proactive and smart.
Yeah. I mean, the man's a class act. What can I say? And so you're gonna, now that his house is a smoldering pile of rubble, you're gonna want to grind it up, spread
Ooh,
it
okay.
in with the area where the honey moat was, because that's gonna grow some really good plants. I mean, that is fertilizer.
I have heard that smut and honey create those are the building blocks of life right there.
Yeah, that's why some town in Alberta, Canada, probably Regina. That's why their motto is the land of rapeseed and honey. So
Okay, that's
those are their
cool.
two biggest businesses. And
Yeah.
anyway, then you're gonna have to rebuild his house. So if I know anything about house building, it is that you're gonna want to punch some trees to get the wood,
Oh, yes, you do gotta punch trees to get wood.
and then just kind of look up a guide online.
Oh, would
And
you recommend like a wiki of some sort?
I just YouTube videos.
Okay.
Yeah. And you get a good idea, right, from the YouTube video, but don't copy it exactly, because like you're more creative than that. So get a
Obviously.
good base, right? Like lay out the pattern for the house from the YouTube video, build it all up, and then like swap out building materials. Maybe take a trip to hell, get some really nice,
Oh,
pretty quartz,
oh,
come back.
that's scary.
Um, I mean, it's just where the quartz is. It's not that scary. There's a ton of pigmen down there for some reason,
Huh.
and yeah, cool trees too. Actually, recently, so maybe grab some of that like cool blue fungus. Equally good as punching a tree. And yeah, then once you got like the outline from the YouTube video, then what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to binge watch a bunch of YouTube videos on interior decorating. Okay. And then
Oh
just freeform
boy.
it. Just freeform it. Like set up a kitchen. Like just be like, try and get the kitchen across from the piston table.
I think I get where you're going with this.
Yeah. And then when you're done, you can mojang your way. Make sure there's a mojang set there, in order to play house building game.
Well, that's
And
that's for the feng shui, correct?
absolutely. And you can really close your eyes in the feng shui garden. You should also add in there just because it looks really good. And just take in the mind and the crafting, right? The mind craft that it took to build that house.
Which is very different from the German ideology of Minecraft.
Yes. The German ideology of Minecraft is not what you're gonna want to be using here. Yeah, this is about the feng shui.
So it's about the mind, which is ultimately what Seth wanted to do in the first place. So
Yeah, Seth, you're
it's
gonna
a
have to
good thing.
transcend the dojo and learn the martial art of Minecrafting.
I mean, I would have to say he's in a good spot because this is like one of those tests where you have to destroy something to build it back better. And this
That's
is what you're
true.
doing. If Steve doesn't understand this, it's his loss, and he obviously is a heathen and
Yeah.
doesn't
Also,
deserve
Seth,
the
some
feng
people
shui.
are gonna tell you to use scaffolding. Don't just dirt piles.
Dirt
If you're
piles.
if you're powerful enough in the Minecrafting, you can just hold the dirt in place, right in the air. It just stays there. It doesn't even fall down. Sand is too powerful for you, but dirt's fine.
Okay, good to know.
Yep.
What
Mhm.
about gravel, Alex?
Oh, gravel, no, dude. The only way to keep gravel suspended in the air when you're trying to build with it using your Minecraft powers is
Yeah.
to mix, to just swirl it together with sand. Its other, too powerful block, and then
Mm-hmm.
sprinkle water on them. That's the only way to get it to take water.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. They're too powerful when you just mix them, but once you add water to that mixture, then you can create a very modern looking building material.
I like that.
All right, we got one more question, Eric, before we finish this
Oh
podcast up and
gosh,
make
we
up
have
the
more
world.
questions?
It's a fast one, quick and easy. You ready?
What?
Figure
I'm
skating
scared.
is excellent and all. This one comes from Emily at Frenchie323. Figure skating is excellent and all, but have you ever watched curling? Iconic. Well,
Well, do I have something to say to you,
yeah, we got some
Emily?
news, Emily.
Curling is more than just a sport, it's a lifestyle, and I'm winning at it. I'm the best curler in the world. And by that I mean I'm very cool and fun, and I definitely drink and curl like you should.
Everyone loves a good 16-ounce curl, Eric. Another great workout tip. But we're talking about how lucky we are to have as a sponsor for this content the
Hmm.
EJCC, the Essex
Oh,
Junction
that's true.
Curling Club.
That's true. We
I
do.
heard they were doing a Bonspiel. If you check your calendar, curling day is coming up.
Hey, everyone needs a curling day,
National
and
Curling Day. So,
yeah,
make sure you celebrate
I
that. Way
obviously
better than
like.
figure skating.
Oh yeah, figure skating is cool and all, but it's no curling.
I mean, nothing really says an artistic expression on ice like curling,
It's
It's a
Do you
thing of
see
beauty.
the skill and like just the sheer amount of talent that those curlers have and body control?
Oh, I
Like
mean, the artistry. I mean, two
it
groups of
is.
four people building a mosaic on the ice. I mean, how could you ever get better than that on ice?
You can't. On
You
ice, I
can't.
mean
I don't
it's a
think even
sight to
Disney
see.
could do better than that on ice. So
And Disney's been in the on ice department for a long time.
that's true. All right, Eric, you want
So
to wrap this bad boy up? Speaking of sponsors,
I
and get on
I
out of
think we
here.
got to thank our sponsors and head on
Let's
out
thank
of
you,
here.
sponsees, and disappear.
All right. So from a longtime sponsor,
This is where my Joey Milk sponsorship would go if I had one. What do you mean lost the footage and put this back in the edit? I don't know what you're talking about, Eric. Go away. 22% ABV. That's right. It is extra extreme rosé. Get your XXX extreme rosé, 23% ABV rosé wine, guaranteed to get you crazy, baby. By Big Rosé.
yeah, that sounds like death in a bottle.
Yeah,
That
it's
might be
actually
their
classified
tagline.
as the tagline is classified as a liqueur.
Ooh. We could have done it without homegrown hops, which also bring in that ABV. Homegrown hops.
This podcast is brought to you by Hip Sports, like hula hooping. Hip Sports.
Of course, couldn't have done it without this podcast is also brought to you by wonderful sports reporting. That's right. The Dewey Brothers, some of the best reporters in the game, winners of one award presented by the Dewey Brothers to the Dewey Brothers.
That's right. We are actually so good at podcasting. We are sponsoring our own podcast now. And with that, this has been Just Do It Season 6, episode 8. We promise we will get someone on at some point whenever we actually remember we have to record a podcast.
Alex,
Frosty Boys episode.
That's way too hard. Frosty Boys signing out. Our toes can't handle regularly scheduled maintenance.
I'm Alex.
I'm Eric.
And for the love of God, man,
just stand it.
don't forget to keep your toes warm.
Oh, that's true. That's true.